just like how we always do good OCs, now is the time that we do bad OCs. So we are going to go back in the same order we presented in, and we're going to start bad OCs with Medi.
Alright, this is Dig Dug. He got the nickname Digger because he's usually the first in the tunnel and the last one out. So he usually starts the tunnel first before everyone follows him. They restated again. He's the first one in the tunnel and the last one out in the description. I'm not sure if he was trying to restate that specifically or if that's just an error. And he also has a favored gem collection, which he's grafted around his collar and on his jacket. He has a unique jacket that Diamond Dogs are envious of, and everyone knows not to get in between him and his gems. He has a lot of pride for his gem collection. He's not a bad OC. I mean, like, he's lacking in everything. He's lacking in a more story here, but I like what we got so far.
Yeah, he seems like he's hard-working, so he deserves whatever he gets kind of thing. Or deserves the good things that he gets, so he has a good collection, which he's very prideful of because he earned them.
Yes.
And I think that makes sense.
I would enjoy more examples of maybe situations where someone did try to get in between him and his gems. And why we've learned not to.
that would make for a story.
Isn't he like the first one that's very actually Diamond Dog? Like, of all of them, he actually fits the mold of a Diamond Dog the best of all of them that we've had on so far, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, I definitely like that. Because
he does. He's not like, he loves green gems and he just wishes he could break away from the mold. But no, he's like, I'll just dig first, dig out. I'm done.
I like digging. I like gems. I am a Diamond Dog.
I like digging. I like gems. I was born the perfect species.
I like characters that kind of make sense with what we know about things. So I like this character.
He's no tortured soul, and that's perfectly fine.
Breaking the mold can be interesting in, like, a lot of things, but I just like this.
When everyone breaks the mold, there's no mold left to break.
And then this one made the mold again. Like, screw you guys, I'm gonna make this mold again.
He made it out of green gems. Now no one else can break it or else he'll kill them. I really like his doggy appearance.
He is super cute.
Yes, he is.
I don't know if I would say cute.
If this was just Medi, if this was just a regular dog, you'd pet the hell out of him.
I'd pet the shit out of him.
Honestly, I'm okay with earrings on Diamond Dogs. Unlike I am with ponies. Because it makes them look like the punks they are.
Rough and
I
tough.
like his color scheme as well. And I like his little, front eyebrows. They look like just, like, big old...
They're kind of weird. Like, I didn't really, look at them intently, but at least the one where it's the full body view, it's just this, like this circle. And I'm just like, what?
And he looks like he has paw print spots on him.
They kind of look like paw prints. I do like the spots, though.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that it's in the full body one, he's kind of like bruised up and like, because I mean he spends pretty much all of his day just digging.
I'm not sure if that's bruised. I think that's just like dirty from the digging.
Dirt. I don't know. Whatever it is, it signifies the same thing nonetheless. He likes digging, and I can tell that from the picture.
I'm pretty sure dirt does not signify a swelling of blood near the surface of the skin.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I like how the gem collar kind of looks like it gets long. Like he got collectively larger gems as he put them on.
This one is my first. It goes in the front. This one's even better than the last one. It goes next. Oh, this one's even better. It goes next. Man, I'm getting better gems.
Yeah. Also, I don't know why his big pink nose. It doesn't bother me, but it just looks out of place, especially when you look like it has the same colored pink below on his paws, but they have black outlines. Like everything about this character has black outlines, but his big pink nose.
That bugs me a bit. And I like the way that the color, that pink on the paws looks with the black outline, so I think that it would look nice on the snout as well.
Snout.
The snoot.
Thank you very much, Mitty, for bringing on that OC. Now, like we did before, let's move over to Smooth's bad OC, and we'll take a look at what he got.
Well,
What you got? What you got, Smooth?
Much like Medi, but I don't have the problem that Medi did. Mine is
Nobody's
also
got the problem
definitely
that he does.
good. I'm just bringing on two flat out really good OC. I didn't have a problem with Mutt, and I don't have a problem with Ametrine, except maybe that I don't know how to pronounce her name, even though there's a pronunciation right there.
Amatrine?
No,
Man,
it's,
you guys are trying too hard.
Am-E-Train.
She grew up inside the deep caves and mines near Paris, France. She mainly worked with collecting gems, just as all other diamond dogs. However, around her teenage years, she kind of was like, ugh, daily routine is boring. So she she stopped liking that at all in the slightest and tried to go off into different caves that are unmarked or not as ventured in kind of things and see what she can get from those caves instead. And when going in there, she noticed a rare type of gem that she hadn't seen before, and most likely the fact that her pack hadn't either, because completely unexplored caves and stuff like that. And she began to study the gems after taking them, and doing different... basically just breaking them and seeing what happens when she broke them. And some had different magical properties to them due to apparent magical radiation from the city of Paris, France. France, is there something you need to say? Real city nation of Paris, France. Is there something you need to say? She started to spend most of her time cutting these gems into more crystal shape kind of things, like so they could be used in collars and other accessories to see kind of how they would affect them. Because as all scientists, you need testing phases for these new things.
Yes, yeah, so let's test it on my brethren.
Luckily for her, she came to find that most of them were actually good for diamond dogs, like improving their effectiveness. Like some made them stronger, like they could dig even better, and some had better energy or speed. They, for the most part, helped. So that's good. It's very, very fortunate. And because of these gems that she has now collected and found and been able to work with, others are now kind of... She's been able to make a business out of it, whereas she doesn't have to go and do the boring old work that all of the others do, but she still has to work for her living in the Diamond Dog Society. And so she's also helping the Diamond Dog Society still. Even though she does not do the same thing that everyone else does, she's still helping out.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
Because it does the thing that is a problem that, unfortunately, the two bad OCs we've looked at so far don't suffer from that problem very too much.
Yeah. It's
really funny. Really funny, but it doesn't suffer from that problem, though.
I'm really liking the idea that she, with those crystal collar things, I like that concept of giving diamond dogs like special abilities.
Yeah, because the collars are like such an ingrained thing. It's one of the only things we have for diamond dogs. And, because collars on dogs, it's...
Now, was that a thing in the episode?
Yeah, all of them had collars, I believe,
well,
at least.
I know they all had collars, but was the collars an important part of the episode?
No.
Oh, no.
They just had collars that I think they all had gems infused in them, too. But,
Yep.
Okay.
but
Or
like,
the
they were,
dangling just below it.
yeah, they were just collars, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like,
So I guess that's a fan theory that I'm okay with, that the collars mean something to the kind of like the cutie mark of that generation.
I mean, that's basically all they have.
Yeah, so that gives the character something to strive for, which I enjoy because it gives the character something to do or something to have happen to them.
I like it. Like, her colors, I think those are dog colors. I find it kind of odd how she has hair like no other diamond dog has, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that until you pointed that out right now.
Also, she has those little bits of the gems in her hair. I mean, couldn't you just get them out?
No, just put them in there so she has something to hold them.
I guess. Oh, does that make her even more powerful than everyone else because she has some even tucked into her hair too? She has a bunch on her collar
That
and
makes
a
her
bunch.
look like she has used the accessories of glowing gems in her hair. So
Oh, because
she shines more than other people, making her seem like she's above other people.
because everyone else also has these collars. She shines more because she just has more because she puts them in her hair also. Oh. I kind of like the expression that she has, like sort of the feel that this piece of art has to it.
She kind of looks like a villain.
She looks more
Yeah.
cunning or witty in comparison to I'm just gonna go forward and do work buff thing.
She seems like the person who would trick other people into doing her job for her.
And then she doesn't, though. She still does her work, and then once she finds a way of making other people work better,
Well,
it's
they say-
like all of them.
Well, Smooth, you know what they say? A picture says 1,000 words, but who says they were the correct words?
I mean, okay. I guess. I really like that purple jacket. I feel like it goes well with her, for the most part, like 3 or 4 color aesthetic. Like, she as a dog just naturally has 2 or 3 colors to her, because that's what most dogs aren't just one color as far as I know. So she has the brown and she has the white and the black in her hair. I'm uncertain about that still, but it's the same color as her claws, so it
Also, she has a
aesthetically
torn
works
ear.
better. Yeah, I was gonna get to that after the jacket, but real quick, I also like how the jacket works as like an adjacent color to the only other color that she basically has, because brown is a very diluted color kind of thing. It's a lot of people don't consider it very colorful. So it's nice that the pink in all of the gems that she has also works with the purple of her main jacket. And torn ear. I'm
I'm not a fan of it.
I think it's okay.
It seems like a very pony maker choice.
I mean,
And there's no story
in
to
Diamond
go
Dog's
with it.
society, it makes more sense just naturally since Diamond Dog, but
I
than
feel like
ponies. But still, there's nothing about it and anything. Overall, though, I really like this character. There are a few things I'm kind of iffy about, just because a few basic things that I get iffy about. But overall, this character is really good, and I wish I could actually bring on 2 good OCs per episode.
Well then, Smooth, thank you for bringing that on, but we have to move on to our next OC, which happens to be the one that Commander brought on. So, Commander, why don't you tell us all about your bad OC?
So, my bad OC is Scraps the Diamond Dog. Scraps is like sort of like Mutt was, is a kind of pup kind of character, Diamond Dog. It doesn't say that, but it says early teens, so I'm just gonna translate that to pup. The subbreed is for this Diamond Dog is said to be a beagle, which I mean.
Beagles. I have my entire experience with dogs is mainly beagles. That looks kind of like a beagle.
Yeah, I can see it.
So the likes are watching ponies, trying to imitate ponies, and ponies in general.
Oh man, we have so much in common.
Dislikes being expected to sniff and dig for the rest of her life, being ignored by other Diamond Dogs, and being called crazy. So for the backstory, Scraps grew up as all Diamond Dogs do, and was taught 2 things and 2 things only: to sniff out gems and to dig them up. And then apparently during the events of A Dog and a Pony show, she was apparently there and watched Rarity from afar and was amazed how she walked and talked and looked and all those things and how it was so different and strange, and this caused a strange feeling in her. She realized she didn't really want to do like Diamond Dog things and sniff and dig and stuff like that. She wanted to be like the ponies. So when she got a little older and she was allowed to dig on her own, she would often use her time, or that time alone, to dig tunnels up to the surface to sort of watch and spy on the candy-colored equines that are walking around and going about their daily business. Scraps then soon taught herself to walk like the ponies, even though this was frowned upon by the Diamond Dog community and society. Other points, has an unhealthy obsession with ponies, if you couldn't have guessed. And she'll get excited even at the mere mention of them. Her color stones, her color has stones instead of gems, since the gem in the color apparently this person, I guess, is using it as, which I think kind of makes sense, is represents your respect level within the society, and she's thought of as kind of insane because she wants to basically just be a pony. And
that's the reason she has stones in her collar instead of gems.
Yeah. And unlike most Diamond Dogs, she doesn't really care for digging. So her paws aren't dirty most of the time. Before you guys really say anything, my biggest problem with this character is this entire character is just one thing. It's sort of like a one-trick pony. It's like,
a one-trick pony
Diamond
thing.
Yes, exactly. The only thing that I can really get out of this character is she just wants to be a pony, and that's I don't even know what kind of a person, quote unquote.
Oh no, her entire personality is wanting to be something else.
Yeah, that's really my biggest complaint, and is pretty much the main reason that I brought this on for bad. It's sort of, I don't know, it bugs me.
They aren't really a character. They're more of a want or a desire. It's very one dimensional, and it doesn't feel there's no real depth to what this character is other than just I'd say there's no wants or desires, but the wants and desires are just I don't want to deal with Diamond Dogs and I want to be ponies. That's all we get. It kind of falls flat because of that. I don't know. To be fair, everything that is here works together and makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just not much of a character. It's a concept sort of thing, and the concept itself is pretty fleshed out. It's just not a character, really.
Yeah. If you could... At the very least, what I would recommend doing to make this a better character is at least give us some kind of real a personality. The only kind of problem I have with this is it looks, aside from the tail, it looks more like a dog than a Diamond Dog.
Well, yeah, that's one of the bigger issues here is it doesn't look anything like a Diamond Dog.
Well, yeah, the tail is a Diamond Dog thing because it has the sort of spiked tail thing.
Well, it's partially from the angle that we're looking at, sort of.
Yeah.
Because she did say that she tries to walk more pony-like than Diamond Dog-like, so she should be standing up, but she's not, so it seems a lot different from all of the other Diamond Dogs we've been looking at this episode.
Except for Dig Dug.
Well, yeah, but he was hunched over and looking ready to dig.
I definitely really like the use of the stones, and I think that was a very, very good idea that was executed well.
For some reason, the gray, the white gray part, just kind of... I don't even know beagles very much, but it just seems a little too dark to me,
Yeah.
And the worst part is, dogs have breeds and have different things. It just feels a little too dark to me.
Yeah. Oh, because, the white in beagles is pretty white.
Usually pretty white, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and we know we tell you to like stray away from pure white, and obviously don't do pure white.
Don't do pure
Yeah,
white.
ponies shouldn't be pure white.
But
Just turn it up a little tiny bit.
you definitely
sort of
want it. You definitely want this to be lighter to more closely represent the species of dog you're turning into a diamond dog.
And like the gray black and the brown, like those fit perfectly for me. It's just the gray white. So yeah, I'd just say to brighten that up a little bit.
If you can, make it appear more diamond doggy. The tail is a good start, and I'm glad that you have the diamond dog tail. But just to sort of help add to this character, I would recommend that, and then try to flesh out the character, and then I think that you'd have it'd be a much better character. I'd say pony, but it's not a pony; it's a diamond dog.
Awesome. Well then, thank you very much, Commander, for bringing on that OC. Now it is time for us to look at the last OC of the night, which would be my bad OC this week. So I brought on. Give me a second here. Shanders. Kelly.
Oh, no, the S is actually silent.
Gear Handers. Callie Hildor, aka Gears. And I'm just like, thank God they have a nickname that is super easy. Gears is, long story short, an abandoned and adopted diamond dog, like the whole left on somebody's porch. Gears was raised much in the same way that My Little Dashie was presented, very sheltered, very kept away from most of society.
Like a twin sister or something.
Yeah, it was like a twin or something like... No, the oldest of two. Yeah, the oldest of two. But yeah, they're super, like, ultra naive and, like, is easily convinced into doing whatever. It says that in an effort to differentiate himself from the often validated stereotype of his race, he and his sister wear purple and pink vests respectively, similar to other diamond dogs in that they have flared collars. The vests themselves are closed down the middle with a zipper. So I'm like, okay, there's most. Okay, that's an interesting style choice.
Just like,
makes it a little different.
Real quick, why is their vest made upside down?
It just is the way it is.
I thought something looked kind of weird about that.
He put it on wrong once, but never wanted to admit it.
No, like the shoulder holes are on the bottom of it.
The cog on his vest is sort of meant to be his cutie mark, in the sense that it represents his love for like technology and seeing how things like work. So there's that.
Even though that wouldn't really be a cutie mark, that's just a symbol of a thing that you like.
Well, I mean,
exactly.
If you're living in pony society and you are growing up there completely and totally different from everyone else, I can understand why you would want something like that to try to fit in better.
True. But what I'm saying is that even if it was a cutie mark on a pony, I would not like that as its meaning.
Yeah.
Apparently, this Gears, he's supposed to be like sort of intelligent, but often he's very lazy, and that if something really doesn't catch his interest too much, he kind of flounders with it. It says, and and despite his best efforts to try to give it an effort, but if something does catch his interest, he'll like totally dive into it and try to figure out everything about it. And it's sort of the same way that it says that it's the same thing for chores as well. He likes comic books, cool shady locations, daydreaming, tinkering, gadgets, solitude, riddles, reading, and the color purple. He dislikes heat, heights, other canine species, early mornings, loud noises, and and hypocrisy of any kind. Which is an odd thing to put on a character sheet. I don't think we've ever seen someone dislike hypocrisy on this show.
I'm pretty sure we have. It's just like, well, of course. I mean, unless
who
you
likes
are a complete and
hypocrisy?
total hypocrite. And even then, you're probably going to dislike hypocrisy. Because that's the thing!
It's like most hypocrites don't realize they're hypocrites.
I like the idea that he's got a cool, like, spiky armband. And I actually like the colorization of this character.
Well, I mean,
I like how those things go with each other, but as for, like, the rest of it, it's kind of wonky a little bit. This vest looks weird, and the shades are a little too much.
We were super interested and into characters who had very little, honestly, in the backstory regards, but enough to keep us hooked. Like, this one just kind of, like, gave us a bunch of information that we didn't really care about because it didn't hold anyone's interest because it was just kind of delivered to us in a textbook format. What we're getting is an essay and not a character. I do this, and this is why I do this, and sometimes I get taken advantage of. Like a 3rd grade essay on a character.
It feels like there's not much emotion, I guess, maybe.
I don't feel the artistic passion like I do with the art. The art definitely says more about this character than his description does.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. It's like, yeah, the colors are great, the accessories are, or the armband is nice, but the vest is weird, and the sunglasses feel way out of place.
I'm not a fan of the
like the
gray at all in the
sunglasses.
slightest.
I like this character's look, honestly. Yeah, I don't like his tail because it doesn't look like a normal Diamond Dog tail. But I really like everything else about him, even the sunglasses. I like the cool shades.
In conclusion, I believe that this character just needs to be a little bit. Just add more information about the backstory, more on the lines of how this character feels about these details that you've given. Like, the biggest thing is the fact that it's like, it is a Diamond Dog living in, that was adopted by a traveling Earth Pony mare. Like, that's a little bit of information that you could probably flesh out a little bit more. And then how this character feels about the fact that they were adopted, or about the fact that, you know, they were given up as a young pup. It never has to be like, it doesn't have to be like, oh my god, well, you know, I just, knowing that whoever my parents
had an
are.
episode like that.
Yeah. Like, he went off and tried to find himself
Your family
through
is the
his
people
fellow
you grew
species.
up with. Just because your species are assholes doesn't mean you have to be.
And it's just one of those things that's like, okay, well then say that. Be like, okay, either he doesn't care, he does care, or he's indifferent, or something.
Yeah.
Like, just give us more about this character.
Yeah, it is fine to just be fine with things like that.
In the meantime, we are going to move on to the voting section of this show. Going over the OCs that we brought on to the show today, I brought on Jet by Revka Hunt. Commander brought on Slate by Flicker Show. Medi brought on Sugar by Peppermint Artsy. And Smooth brought on Mutt by Xena Lolly. So,
Mutt.
Yay!
Wonderful. Smooth.
I'm gonna give mine to Slate. He just seemed like a really well-made character and everything.
Commander.
That was a weird way to say my name. I'm going to give my vote to Mutt as well, because Mutt is good.
And I, too, will give my vote to Mutt. So congratulations, Smooth and Xena Lolly, for winning good OC this week.
Yay!
Hurrah!
Now comes bad OCs. And this week, this is going to be slightly complicated. I brought on Gears by McCallus89. Commander brought on Scraps by Ask Splash Sparks. Medi brought on Dig Dug by Lottie Da. And Smooth brought on Am E Trine by Maya Runa. Going back to the same order we presented it, and not voting for the same OC you brought to the party. Medi, who do you think is the worst OC this week?
Fuck. just gonna say Scraps.
Yay! Smooth.
Why are you saying?
It's really weird because two of them for sure are good, and then the other two aren't really that bad.
And one of them you can't vote for.
Yeah, one of the goods I can't vote for, so I'm definitely not voting for Dig Dug. And
Yeah.
so I guess I'll give mine to Gears.
Cool. Commander?
I am going to also give mine to Gears because the other two that I can vote for were both actually pretty good.
Uh-oh,
So.
I know where this next vote's going.
I vote for Scraps, actually. That's where my vote is going for this week.
Man.
And as this probably comes with no surprise, we're going to have to do a rock, paper, scissors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot.
What'd you get?
I got scissors.
I got rock.
Yay, I lost.
Yay, I won.
So this was the Diamond Dogs episode with a whole bunch of wonderful and not so wonderful OCs in it, but mostly wonderful. We always get these OCs from submissions and whatnot, so if you happen to want your OC on the show, Medi, tell them where they can send it in.
You can send it to us at eurocsucks.deviantart.com, at eurocsucks@twitter.com, eurocsuckspodcast@gmail.com, and eurocsuckspodcast@tumblr.com.
This show is also supported by the lovely people over at patreon.com. You can check it out at patreon.com/YourOCSucks, and you can become a Patreon to the show. Next week, we're going to be taking a look at some zebra OCs. So if you have a zebra OC, or you have a friend that you think they could benefit from our critique, or if you just think that they should submit, tell them to submit it, or submit your own OCs to those locations that Medi just told you about.
Do it right the fuck now, because if you don't do it now, it's not going to get on or have a chance to get on.
Yeah, because you got like 2 days to get it done. So yeah, that is that. We will be back next week with our zebra episode, and then after that we'll probably be wrapping up
Slowly finishing this block that's been going on for like 2 months, almost 3 months.
As a reminder, my name is Mo5 Thunderbirds. I've been joined by
Commander Sparkle.
Medi Bobo.
And smooth sailing.
and your OC sucks.